welcome to a vastly overdue episode of Talking Sport.
Yeah, it's been like over a month, I'd say, at least.
Oh, it's far longer.
Yeah. And once again, our Talking Sport is mainly consist of football. But more specifically, managerial changes in the English Premier League at the moment.
Yeah, there's been quite a bit happening.
Yeah.
Bit of an odd season, so plenty of managers have been under the pump. First one's first, it's probably the most recent one to come to light, Everton.
Yeah.
Roberto Martinez was, I don't know if he was sacked, I think from what I hear he actually walked away.
Did he? Oh.
I think he beat him to the punch.
Yeah, probably fair enough. They didn't have the best season.
Nah, they struggled.
Well, they finished like 11th or 12th or something like that.
Yeah,
so
I think the biggest thing was they needed to finish in the top 6 to have a chance of keeping guys like Barkley and Stones for another year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, that's what they expected this season, to at least fight for a European spot.
Failed.
Weren't anywhere near it in the end.
I think Southampton's really taken their thunder.
Yeah.
So. But so Everton's looking for a new manager. At this stage, it's basically it's all pointing towards Frank de Boer.
Yeah, he got
from Ajax
because he left Ajax.
He left after 4 years.
Well, he won like 4 Eredivisie titles.
He's won 4 and 4.
He's a tactical genius in some ways.
And he's got a good eye for young talent. He's got.
Oh yeah.
And he's also someone who is you afford a bit of time to.
Yeah.
He, especially coming from Ajax, his way of thinking and his way of playing is a bit more of a slow burn, and also for the fact that he's got fantastic, links to young talent in Holland, especially Ajax. I think if Everton went with him, they could see a real turnabout in at least in their team, especially if Barkley and Stones and McCarthy leave.
Yeah, that's a big thing. If they could...
Well, if those guys go for big money and De Boer comes in,
there.
I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine, but that depends if they're going to leave and spend how much money, where they go and all that. Is going to be a big issue.
I think they can get 50 for Stones.
Do you think?
Yeah. I think if it's City or Chelsea, they'd be willing to pay that
Oh,
much.
yeah, they would. English-based player.
I reckon Barkley can probably go from anywhere between 20 to 35, depending on who it is. McCarthy can go for 8 to 15. So I think that they'll pocket a fair bit.
So yeah, Frank de Boer's obviously the obvious favourite to take over, but you've got like Pellegrini's been linked there. Benitez, Joachim Löw, the Germany manager.
Yeah,
he's been rumoured to go there as well. So there's a few there.
Yeah, I think
Frank de Boer will be the most obvious.
I think de Boer's probably the best option.
Yeah,
especially for where their list and their club's at. The next one's Newcastle, newly relegated.
Well. Will Benitez stay?
Well, in the stretch of 4 months, he's gone from managing at the Bernabeu to being in the Championship.
Yeah, that's good.
That's
good
naturally how your career progression goes.
Well, it just went, yeah, much.
Yeah. Latest reports suggest he's actually close to signing an extension to stay. I get the impression that it'll have some clauses in there that he'll stay, and if they don't get promoted, then he's... there's some sort of release. It's sort of similar to players get an extension, and if they don't play, then they can get released or cut price type.
There will be a lot of players that will leave that club. So, a few of them, probably a few of them.
No, to be fair, honestly, I think it's just Jose Perez, because the rest of their team is shit.
Gee,
the rest of their team is terrible.
Well, they did get relegated for a reason. So, but you expect a few people will probably leave. As every team that gets relegated does, you get players that do leave, that recently signed there. So yeah, we think Benitez will stay.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much just a matter of when, not if.
We'll move into your club,
Manchester United. Seemingly every day it's Mourinho that's coming in. Another one I heard this morning was that he's guaranteed the job if Van Gaal leaves. Which is, just pointless. He's either going to leave or he's not.
Yeah.
Thing is, though, with Mourinho, and I prefer him over Guardiola because Guardiola's gone to teams with massive talent.
Yeah, that's always the
case. Mourinho managed to do it with Porto when essentially, they had a great team, but they really didn't have much else happening. He went to Inter when they were sort of before their collapse, and he's done it before. And I no doubt he'd do a good job, but my issue is he could seemingly walk in there and just go, alright, we're going to buy this dude for 110 million, we're going to buy him for 40 million when he's only worth 8, and just sort of start tearing shit apart.
But hasn't Van Gaal been doing that?
Yeah, look where we are. I think And I wrote an article on this on Lee Lane. Check it out; it's really good. I think there's a few other guys who should certainly be looked at. I think, well, first and foremost, Ryan Giggs is someone who should be looked at seriously. Yeah. I think he's
been there pretty much all of his career.
Oh, he has.
Playing and coaching us.
Yeah. Someone who's been spoken of, but I don't think I see it happening, Jorge Sampaoli, the Chilean. But I think someone who needs to be in the conversation is Ronnie Koeman from Southampton.
Oh, what he's done there.
It's ridiculous. So he's been there for 2 seasons. He's built off the back of the 18 months Pochettino was there for. But in 2 seasons, he's broken points records twice, 60 and 62. He's got the best out of a team that's basically been gutted.
Yeah.
Before he got there and after and while he was there. He gets the best out of his players. He plays a way that's conducive to being entertaining and playing to strengths.
Exciting brand of football they play.
He's not afraid to play young guys, which is probably the biggest thing Ben Hull had going for him. He blooded a lot of youth, like Rashford's playing Fonsu Mena. So there's that. But I think he should be seriously in the conversation. I don't think he'll get it, but I think he deserves to be in that conversation. I think it's going to be Mourinho or Giggs, honestly.
Wouldn't be surprised if it's Mourinho in the end.
Yeah, neither would I, to be honest.
But you're not going to give any hope that Ben Hull will stay for another year?
No.
I don't think he's
I mean, look, he's just the players don't know what they're doing. They really don't. So I just can't see him staying.
That's fair enough.
And then we go into a few other ones. We've got Watford and Swansea. Watford parted ways with Sanchez Flores at the end of the season, who earned him promotion. I think there was a few backroom things that were happening as well. Not too sure who could come in there. I think they're probably going to go with a lesser known guy.
Probably people that not many people would know, but
Morky Mackay, who's actually interviewed for Swansea, could also be an option. But it's very a wait and see kind of thing.
You don't really know with Watford. You don't know which manager would come in.
Because they finished 15th, didn't they?
Yeah, they did have a very good start to the season. They were in
they dropped off. I think
they were like in the top 8.
Ingalo played really well at the start.
Then he dropped off, and then because he had like a goal drought till probably the second to last game I think he scored. To like 13 games I didn't score, so it did drop off a bit. Watford. So
wait and see. I think the more interesting one will be Swansea. Brendan Rodgers is re-interviewed. I see him going back, honestly. I see it being him.
Yeah, no.
Because when he was there,
they were really good.
They were playing for him. He knew how to play with them. He knew what the fans wanted.
Yeah.
And it was just an easy way to go about it.
Well, it's him and Mackay who have been interviewed.
Yeah, those two.
But you think Rodgers is probably...
He's probably got the inside track.
And Liverpool should be careful because if he does go there, Joe Allen will probably go back.
Either that or he'll go back to playing the lead role in the Castaway reboot. God, he looks homeless.
But he's playing well recently, so happy with that.
There's another one going around is West Brom, which is Tony Pulis, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's been a few whispers that there might be some changes. You know, they're consistently sort of 6 to 12-ish.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know if they're going to change manager. I just think it's something that needs to be looked at more than anything.
They probably need to take the next step now, West Brom. They've been in the Premier League for a
Quite
bit of a while, and they've always been around that mid-table, probably towards the bottom half.
Well, I think they need to be prepared to do what Southampton have done, what West Ham have done.
They've got to step it up, I think.
So
try and fight for that top half now.
I think there's someone that'll, if he doesn't get let go in the off-season, he will be looked at pretty strongly at the start of next season. Now, we'll just end on something. Where does Manuel Pellegrini go? He wants to stay in the Premier League.
Yeah, well, you had an article saying you should go to Stoke.
Yeah. Another one on League Lane.
But you don't think that will happen?
No, I don't. And since I've written that, I've seen a few Stoke games and seen how they played, and Mark Hughes has really got them playing exciting football. And, you know, Afellay and Shaqiri are playing well together. And for the fact that they're playing that well, those two guys don't need to see a reason to leave.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So
out of those clubs that we've just mentioned, where do you reckon he would best be suited? It's a tough one.
Well, he could slot in
any of those
at Manchester United.
Well,
he could,
but I don't think he's ever been. Has he been rumoured to go there at all?
Early on,
not as much recently.
I think he could do well at Swansea.
Yeah.
I think he could bring a different style of game. You know, he's managed big teams as well, so there's that.
But I remember he did manage Malaga those days when they were a bit. Not many people knew how good Malaga were, and they did really well in the Champions League.
But to be fair, Malaga but there's an asterisk on that because they were bought out, they had money, and then the guy was bankrupt the next season.
And they had Isco, so probably helps a bit.
Yeah, true. Isco and Cazorla. I think if he wants to stay in the Premier League, I think he needs to be looking at. You know, I think if for some reason Ronnie Koeman wasn't at Southampton, we could work there. I think.
Would you consider like a Watford? Or is that probably not?
I think honestly,
probably not.
I mean, to be fair, if he wants to stay in the Premier League and if he doesn't get offers and there's Watford, he'd take it. I think.
Yeah.
But I think if he wants to stay and it being him, and I think he's good enough. I think he's an 8 to 10 manager.
Yeah.
1 to 10 manager, sorry.
So the top half.
So I think if he went basically anywhere down to, well, I mean Chelsea, well they finished 9 to 10, but he wouldn't go to Chelsea.
But Conte's already there, so.
Yeah. So I think if he went anywhere from, say traditionally Chelsea down to Crystal Palace. But to be fair, those top 10 jobs are pretty much safe.
Yeah, that's
outside of Arsenal, you don't know, and United.
Yeah, so it's a bit tough.
I don't know if he's going to stay. I mean, to be fair, Bayern could do worse than going after him.
That's true, but doesn't Ancelotti go there now? Isn't he there? I think he's already there. So, and on a side note, with Bayern signing Hummels and Sanchez, so
yeah. Be interesting, as it always is anyway. Yeah. We'll certainly probably get a bit more in depth on this come sort of August, September.
And also stay tuned in the next few weeks. We'll be previewing the Euro 2016, some of the big countries,
the contenders.
And give our views on who will win it, who will do well,
probably the top 8,
who will crumble.
Yeah, the top 8 teams.
Yeah,
we'll go through that. So yeah, cheers. Stay tuned.